Mohandas ji, if I can begin by asking you about the recent piece of economic news that made the headlines, which is that India emerged as the fifth largest economy in the world in nominal terms. How do you look at this milestone and what is the significance of this?
Well, I think it was expected to happen. We all expected it to happen a couple of years back. It happened late because of COVID and other reasons, and the fact that the rupee depreciated. If the rupee was a stronger currency, it would have happened many years back, but it's happened and is inevitable. Very soon, we'll overtake Germany, we'll overtake Japan in the next maybe 3 to 4 years, and we'll be behind the China. So we'll have the US, China, and India, which is the way it has to be because China and India made up the largest part of the global GDP much before the Industrial Revolution for thousands of years. And that's going to reappear again. And the last 300 years will be a blimp in human history when Europe overtook Asia and became successful because the Industrial Revolution. Now we are in the midst of the digital revolution, and China and India are at the heart of it. And we are going to be very large economies. I think it's going to happen, it's inevitable. But psychologically, it's a very, very big thing for India. Remember, we are colonized, brutalized, and looted by the British. The British took away what people estimate to be $45 trillion of today's wealth over their long route, right? Even the Mughals, even though Shashi Tharoor says the Mughal looted but did not take away the money, what Shashi Tharoor fails to add is that Nadir Shah came, I think, in 1736 or so, and looted the entire treasury of the Mughals, who had looted it from the rest of the country and took it away to Iran. If you go to the Central Bank of Iran, you can see all the treasures there, even today. So we are lost out in many years. So I think psychologically, it's a very big blimp. We are past the old colonial masters. I hope Lutyens Delhi, who are the successors of the colonial masters, who still have a colonial mindset, will get over the shock of India overtaking Great Britain and understand that this is the country of the future, and they should stop abusing India. So I think it's a great day.
Absolutely, sir. And India has made a lot of strides in the last few years and decades, but unfortunately, like you mentioned, a lot of times, certain quarters they spare no effort to talk down about India.
But
And
Kamal, let me give some data, Kamal, to set the context. When we got independence in 1947, we were the largest, most sophisticated economy in Asia. That's because Japan was destroyed in the war. Southeast Asia was destroyed in the war. China was in the midst of the civil fight and the civil dispute, right? Internal strife. So they were also not in good shape. And we were the economy which had 1.5 billion pounds owned by Great Britain for the war, a very good army, and a very good functioning industrial sector. Then after 1950, and just before that, Nehru brought in disastrous economic policies, taking us on the path what he called socialism. He didn't understand economics, I think, and he made India poorer, and he suppressed Indian capital. Nobody is against the public sector, but he suppressed Indian capital, brought in license quota Raj, and centralized economic decision making in Delhi, and made it very, very corrupt and subject to capture by people who capture the government and got what they want and get monopoly profits. As a result, India grew at 3.5% a year from 1950 to 1980. Population grew at 2.5% a year. Per capita income grew at only 1% a year for 30 years. The world grew the GDP at 4.5% a year. Asia grew at 6.5% a year. So by 1980, after 30 disastrous years of Nehru's socialism and Indira Gandhi following suit, we were become a poorest country, almost the poorest country in Asia. Then we started opening up in the 90s. 90s, we grew by 5.5% from 80 to 90. And debt grew from 20 billion to 80 billion during the decade. Population grew by 2.25%. Per capita income grew by 3.25%. And we became slightly better off. But it was 91. We were broke. We had 15 days of foreign exchange, and we opened up and liberalized. Now look at the magic. We were $275 billion of GDP in 1991 March. We have gone to $3.16 trillion in 2022 March. We have grown at 8.2% a year for 31 years. For 31 years after liberalization. And that is going to continue. So I think we'll be $5 trillion by 2026, maybe $10 trillion by 2032, 2 years later, provided the rupee doesn't depreciate too much. And we have got everything going for us in growth. So the disastrous policies of Nehru made us poorer, and we had to get over that. And that was very bad. China opened up in 1978. India opened up in 1991. We are China's economy in 2006. We are what China was in 2006. So if you grow now We hopefully should be a much larger economy. And the challenge is going to be ourselves. Some people who are naysayers and malcontents will say, "Oh, you're a poor country." Yeah, of course we're a poor country. Our per capita income is $2,500 or $2,200. That's not going to go away. But the collective strength of India is enormous. And if you say we have only $2,500, that is wrong, because you must look at PPP. That currency can buy much more than equivalent amount of $2,500 in the US. Under PPP, we are $11 trillion. $11 trillion is nearly 3.5, 4 times nominal GDP. We are the third largest economy in the world. We are in China, the United States, and then India, right? So I think we must understand this economic entire concept. So I think we're getting over the bad policies of Nehru. We still have this Lutyens Delhi, which captured India and they feather their own nest. They're all diminishing now, and India is growing up. So I think it's great news.
Absolutely, Mohandas ji, and I think that's a very comprehensive view of where we have come, and to appreciate the current milestones. I think it is important to take that comprehensive view. Only then can we understand the various challenges that we have faced as a nation.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.